Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my podcast, Dejah Brew. I'm so excited you came back to join us this week. That's so sweet of you. Grab a coffee or a tea or whatever you like to drink. Right now, I have a hazelnut iced coffee that I made at home, and it is so delicious. 11 out of 10. Today, I want to talk about surrounding yourself with good people with good energy. I think this topic is so important, and it took me so long to even think about this and realize this. Not too long ago, I was listening to a podcast by Adeline Warren. She also has a YouTube. If you want to go check her out, you should. She posts some awesome stuff. But she had a podcast about surrounding yourself with good people that have good energy. And she said that you are the 3 people you surround yourself with the most. And that just really got me thinking. I was like, wow, why have I never even considered this and thought about it? And yeah, ever since then, I have just been trying to be conscious, and at some points in my life, I just realized, like, wow, I really like the people that I'm around right now. Like, I can really tell that they're benefiting my life, and I'm feeling more ambitious, I'm feeling more positive because those are the people that I'm around. I remember back in the day, back when I was like beginning of high school, I realized that, well, I didn't even know back then, but now I realize that the people I was with were just not very ambitious. Their goals were not in a good place, and I was hanging out with them. I was giving a lot of my time, which is really important. I gave them my time, and it really didn't benefit me. Like, I used to have a really close friend, and she just loved to go on her phone. Now, I don't know, I can't even go on my phone for super long anymore unless I'm in a little YouTube spiral and just watching a ton of YouTube videos. But she would just go from like Instagram to TikTok to Pinterest to I don't even know what. I didn't even look at her phone because I was on mine, because she would just lay it on her bed when I was there with her and just scroll on her phone. So that's the energy I was around. So I did the same thing. And looking back on it, I was like, wow, why didn't I just find some other friends to hang out with that were more adventurous, more fun, wanted to do anything besides sit on their phone? And I get it was beginning of high school. We couldn't drive yet. But when you live in town, you can walk to places, or we could go outside and do other things. But no, that was not her. So in turn, that was not me when I was around her. And that's just one example that I realized, and it was just kind of sad because I tried to not be one of those people that's always on my phone. I've always been pretty ambitious. Like summer, summer it's great. But in the winter, when I get that little seasonal depression, then it kind of wears down a little bit. But still, I don't know how people go on their phone for so long. If that's you, you do you. But it's just something to consider. Like, when you go hang out with your friend, do you find yourself just going on your phone with them for like hours at a time? Both of you just sitting there on your phones? I just don't really see a point in that. And like, what's beneficial in that? What's beneficial about the friendship when you could just do that by yourself at home? And okay, moving on from that, I also would surround myself with people back in high school that were just, I don't even know, they were just not into the best things. And in turn, when I hung out with them, I wasn't either. And when I look back on it, I really wish I hadn't done that, but such is life. It already happened. But now I really feel like I've grown. I mean, I'm only 19. This has only been like 4 years, but just the people that I surround myself with now are just so much better than people I did back then, which is really cool. I made some new friends like through college, and that's really nice. I feel like when people are older, they're just more mature. Not everyone, definitely not everyone, but for the most part, people I meet in college, because I'm at least 1 year younger than everyone since I finished high school a year early. And I just noticed that a lot of them have jobs and they're just grinding out their schoolwork in college and just living life. And I feel like they're good people to surround myself with. And a couple months ago, when I had this whole realization about surrounding yourself with good people, I had made 2 more friends, and one I work with, and we hung out at their apartment with one of his friends as well. So that's how I made the other friend. And they were just such awesome people. And once I left that day with hanging out with them, I just felt so fulfilled. Like I was giddy, smiling, like on my way home, because I just had such a great night. Because they're both a few years older than me, and one already completed college, and the other one, she's in college right now. And one, he has his own apartment, which is so awesome that he's able to provide for himself, and he did it all on his own, which is really cool. And yeah, they're just super awesome people, and you can just tell when someone is hardworking and ambitious, and that's how I really like to be. So when I find people like that, I'm just like, wow, I want to hang out with them more. I really want to surround myself with them. And another thing that goes with this is I feel like the people that work really hard, I've noticed that as a result, you get to do so much more fun things. And I don't know, that's something that I've noticed with me. Like, I have worked the last 4 years of my life when I could have been doing more sports in high school, or maybe having more fun. But I had a good amount of fun, but I worked and I made money, and I saved up all that money. So now I just get to do all the cool things I've always wanted to do. Because for the most part, I had to wait till I was 18 to like travel by myself, to buy my own plane ticket, to go skydiving, just things like that. And now these people that I surround myself with, they're in college, and working. We're all just hard workers, and 2 of them are going to Europe this summer, and I'm going there too. And it's all because we just worked so hard when we saved up all this money that we're like finally able to go do that. And for all 3 of us, it's like been a dream to go there, and I think that's so cool. Like I'm just so happy for them and for me that we were just able to do that. But those people that just really aren't hardworking, maybe they're only working just part-time, even when they have enough time in a week to work full-time. It's just, I don't know, I feel like they could be saving so much more money and doing more fun things. And I'm not saying you have to use up that money that you earn to go on expensive vacations and things like that. No, not at all. I just think that you need to reward yourself. You know, if you worked really hard for the last couple of years, like, you deserve to take a nice trip. Like, go for it. But all in all, it's just those people that are ambitious and having goals in mind. That's a really big one too. I can just tell the difference, I guess, hanging out with people that don't really have their goals set for the future. They're just kind of living, I guess, day by day. Like, I try to live in the moment as much as I can. I just think about it sometimes. I'm like, wow, this is such a good moment in time. I don't even know how that sounds, but if you experience that too, great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, oh well. But I try to live in the moment, but I also have goals in place and just in my mind, because for me, I love having something to look forward to. And if I didn't have anything planned for the future, I would be like, well, what's the point in working right now? What's the point in showing up to my job every day and making money? What's the point in even going to college when I don't even know what job I want in the future? I think that ties into why it's just so good to have goals for the future. And the future isn't set. No one knows what's gonna happen. And yeah, sometimes your goals won't go according to plan, but I believe in manifesting. And if you manifest that this is gonna happen in the future, and as a result, you're working hard to achieve things that get you closer to that goal, then it's gonna happen. Maybe not exactly the way you thought it would, but in a way, you're gonna get to exactly where you need to be. And those people that, when you just work so hard and you're focused and you have drive, then you're gonna get there. So all these tie into just good people with good energy. And it doesn't always have to be, super ambitious people, but people that just are really nice. They just have a good personality, and when you're around them, you don't have that off feeling. Like, they give you good vibes. You don't feel a little uncomfortable being around them. You just feel like, I don't know if you guys feel this too, but when I'm around good people, even if I meet them for the first time, after whoever else I was with, I'm like, wow, I could tell they're just such a nice person. Or other times I could be like, wow, they did not have the best vibe. Like, did you catch that? Because that was just not a very good vibe. And that can mean a lot of things. Like, there can be kind of creepy people that just don't seem like they have the best intentions. But that's kind of an extreme, and you never know what their intentions are unless they tell you. But there's also those people that are just negative. I work at a cute little greenhouse, and we sell plants, and I just can really notice the difference, because most of it is middle-aged to older women who buy plants from us, and other people too, but for the most part, it's just those type of people. And I remember this one day I was working, and I had such a sweet lady and her husband. They were just so wholesome, and I checked them out. They bought a bunch of plants, and she was just so cute. And then she showed me pictures of her 2 dogs and her cat, and she was telling me how she got them from Forever Homes. It's like a dog rescue place, and she was just so sweet. And she was like, yeah, they called me and asked if I wanted another one because it was stranded in a house and starving for a couple weeks. And then she's like, so of course I took it in. And I was like, aw. And even without her telling me that story, I could just tell she was a good person. She just had those great vibes about her. And then a little bit later, I had another lady come in and check out with a couple of plants, and I always talk to everyone. I really love talking to customers. I know you're supposed to do that because customer service, being a cashier, but I truly love it. And I like complimenting people. I love telling ladies, oh, I love your nails. Oh, your hair looks so cute. Things like that. And it's really not to don't know, to front, like, I'm a good employee. I just really, I don't know, I just love talking to people. And I tried to strike up a conversation with this lady that came in after that really wholesome one, and she was just so negative, and I could tell from, honestly, her first response, and then I said something back, and then the next thing she said was just still really negative, and it's just kind of sad because I felt like that's kind of her whole personality and just what she's like in general. And I don't know, I just felt kind of sad for her. I was like, well, I hope she enjoys some things in life. And who knows? She could have just been not having a good day. Maybe it was a bad day, and that's okay. That happens to the best of us. But I just think people with good vibes, I don't know, I feel like for the most part you can really like sense it. You can detect that this is a good person or this is really not a good person. And when you're surrounding yourself with those good people, then their traits, some of their qualities will rub off on you and in turn make you a better person. Because, I don't know, don't we all just want to be good people, good citizens of the world, make this world a better place? I sound like, I don't even know what I sound like. I'm so passionate about that, but I also feel cheesy. That's the word. That's what I was thinking of. I sound kind of cheesy, but I don't care. So that's kind of all I had to say about surrounding yourself with good people, good energy today. Yeah, I just think it's really important. And if you take anything from this video, just think about those few people, like the 3 people you surround yourself with the most, or who your friends are, and just think about, are they good people? Am I benefiting from being friends with these people? And yeah, I hope you can take something away from this. And one more thing, I feel like this also goes with relationships. I should have said this earlier, I forgot. But relationships, like, these are so crazy important to this topic because when you get into a relationship, for the most part, they're like one of the people you surround yourself with the absolute most. I don't know, at least for me, it's like when you're in love, you just want to be with them all the time because it feels like, I don't know, they're like a light in your life. And sometimes, you know, it can be really good at first. They could seem like a really good person that's just gonna make you so happy, and then, you know, you want to be with them for forever, or I don't know, things like that. And then eventually, sometimes you realize that, wow, they weren't as good of a person as I thought they were. And that can be really sad, like truly sad. And it's definitely harder. Well, I think it's really hard to leave friendships and relationships because to me, they both feel like a breakup. Like, I've had breakups with friends and they're really sad. Like, they can be really tough, just like a relationship. But I feel like when a relationship starts to turn toxic and when they're just, if you realize they're just not a good person, you know, sometimes you can think that I can be the one to change them. I can turn them into a good person, you know. I have some qualities, you know. I can try to rub off on them, you know. If we spend enough time together, if we're around each other enough, then they'll inherit my qualities and I'll help them be a better person. And I feel like that's something that we all hope for, but you yourself can't change a person if they're not willing to change, if they don't even think anything's off about them, that they need to change, then they're just not going to. And if they're not benefiting your life anymore, then you probably need to break up. And yeah, that can be really hard to hear. And I know for personal experience, when people tell you that, when they tell you that you should probably get out of this relationship, like, it's not very good, then you can be defensive about it. Like, no, it was just a bad day. Like, they're not always like this. But if these things keep happening, if they're just turning into not the person you thought they were, and those negative vibes and that bad energy is affecting you and rubbing off on you, then that's just not someone that you should surround yourself with. And if it's just not working out, then it probably needs to be done. And yeah, but just something else to think about. And yeah, I just want all of you to live your best possible lives. I think it's just, happiness is so important, and I think that everyone deserves to be happy, truly. And if you can take some steps, or what needs to happen in your life to make you happy, what people need to be in your life to make you happy, what people shouldn't be in your life because they're bringing you down, then you need to make that change, because this is your life to live. And if you want to make a change, you sure can. You can do whatever you desire. And you got this, girlies. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.